You know, exactly what I feared was going to happen, happened. Denver goes to play the Chargers and chokes away a good opportunity to be, right in the hunt for this division, at least for now. And, I said in my pregame video that there would be probably, the stadium holds 29,000 people and probably be 15,000 Broncos fans. The reality is there was probably only 25,000 people there, and 15,000 of them were probably Broncos fans. Maybe 20. And, it was like a home game. And the Broncos just came out and let San Diego run all over us. I think we maybe even looked worse today than we did last week in the Giants game. Now, am I disappointed? Yeah, because if we were going to do anything this season, we had to have beat a wounded Giants team. I mean, that team's got one wheel left on the car and all 5 lug nuts are loose. And we have to win what's basically a home game on the road, just a couple hour flight from here in LA. Have to win those 2 games because we got New England coming up. We damn sure not going to beat Kansas City next week. We can't. And the reason why we probably can't is because we can't block their pass rush. Now, Ingram and Bosa are pretty good. I mean, that's as good as you're going to see as far as 2 bookends in the NFL. I mean, there's other teams that got pretty good, pass rushers on other teams, but those 2 pretty high quality. And, we got our left tackle is a rookie, and Bosa's a good player. I mean, he gave him all he needed. I thought Bowles played okay as far as competition he was playing. And then our left guard is now playing right tackle. We're on our 4th right tackle, and right tackle was probably the weakest position that the Broncos had coming into this year. And we're already down to the 4th string. But, yeah, that happens. I mean, that's the NFL. There's all kinds of teams that are missing good players. I mean, he's certainly not our best player, but that's an important position. And when you put a guard out there to play right tackle against good competition, I mean, our guard was getting juked. I mean, juked off the line of scrimmage. And by Ingram and Bosa, to where he didn't even get a hand on him before they got to Trevor. And so, I'm still not down on Trevor. I'm still fine with Trevor being the quarterback of the Denver Broncos. I mean, he took some sacks and some problems today because he held on to the ball too late and he needed to get it out quicker. But, the NFL's a game of timing. And he don't have no time. We looked exactly like we looked last year. Turnstile, offensive line, can't block nobody, and can't block anybody. Trevor's running for his life. He's getting rid of the ball. He's taking big hits. I mean, he took probably the biggest hit of his entire career he probably took today. I thought it killed him. Going into the game, I really thought we'd win this game. I really thought we'd win the Giants game. Talking all that trash. And look at me now. Just sticky, broken, confused. And a pile of kitty litter over here in the dark. And Demaryius Thomas, I mean, you see again today what I've been talking about. 6 games now into the season, he's played like a top 5 or even a top 10 receiver once out of the 6. Today, Demaryius makes a big play and he gets called for pass interference. Well, it was pass interference. Everybody saw you tug the defensive back down before you jumped. And the thing is, Demaryius, you don't even need to do that. You got him outmanned, oversized. Just jump up and catch the ball at its highest point, grip it tight, and it's a catch. You don't need to create that pass interference. But then what was worse to me is once you did create the pass interference, you had so much open field, and you get tackled at the 10-yard line. Top 5 receivers, Julio Jones, like you saw tonight, Odell Beckham, Antonio Brown, Dez, those guys take it to the house and spike it. 6. Instead, it's 1st and goal from the 9-yard line with you. I'm just saying, Demaryius ain't worth the money. And I wish we could somehow trade him. I know we can't. Because we need some pieces of the puzzle on the front lines on this team to win. You know, there's a reason why the Broncos came out and beat the Cowboys the way we did. Because we played good on the front of the ball, on the front of the offensive line, the defensive line. Both sides of the ball up front, we dominated the game. And when you do that in the NFL, you're going to win a lot of games. It's who wins up front. It's not about the skill position players you have, and we don't have enough horses up front. Right now, I'm not sure that there's a lot of teams we can beat because Trevor's not going to be able to have time to throw the football. Now, I didn't have the highest expectations going into this season because I said all along, even right before the draft, right after the draft, that I thought the Broncos would be 8-8, 9-7. We're 3-3. I've said before that you can't tell what kind of football team you have until after you've played 6 games. We've played 6 games, and we're average. That's all we are. We're an average team. We're the type of team that'll come out and do something stupid, like beat the Patriots or beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead, something that we shouldn't do, and then come out and lose to the Jets or lose to Cleveland. That's the kind of team we are. We have just enough good players to beat you and not enough good players to get run over by anybody. Now, anything can happen on any given Sunday, but without defensive scores, I don't know how the Broncos are going to put points on the board. I mean, if I was a defensive coordinator for another team, I'd just put 8 in the box. Stop the run. I mean, you can't throw. You can't block anybody. Congratulations to the Chargers, your fan base, coaches, everything. I mean, Chargers are, you know, again, I said beginning of the year, they were going to be a lot better. They should have been better last year, but Keenan Allen got hurt. I mean, he's a big piece of the puzzle for them. And Benjamin, wow, is he fast. He's a fast little sucker when he gets going. I mean, I don't quite have Tyreek Hill speed, but who does? But, I mean, he's fast. Rivers has always been, I hate to say it, one of my favorite quarterbacks. I know a lot of people don't like Rivers because he seems like he's crying, but he's a competitor, man. You just got to like that guy. I mean, when Rivers was a free agent, there was talk that maybe, you know, they wouldn't franchise him. They didn't know what they were going to do, and maybe there was a shot he was ever going to come to Denver. This was right after Manning and the whole deal. And I would have loved it. I mean, you put Phillip Rivers on the Denver Broncos, we're still not going to be a great team because we can't block for him, but we're going to be in the playoffs with Phillip Rivers. Because Phillip Rivers is a boss. He's one of the top 10 best quarterbacks in the NFL. You can't give him a lot of opportunities. And he did exactly what Eli did last week. He didn't turn the ball over. He made smart throws. They got up on us early, got us out of our game plan. Then he didn't take any risk because it was shitty. We can't block nobody. We ain't got no playmakers. I don't see how it gets any better, Broncos fans. I really don't. And I'm not trying to be negative, and it's just one game, and we're 3-3, and it's not like we're out of it. Anything could happen. Somebody, an important player on another team in the division could get hurt. We could make a trade for somebody. There's so many different scenarios of things that could happen that could keep us in the hunt. But the reality of it, the facts of the deal is that you know what you're seeing. I'm seeing the same thing you're seeing. If you can't block and you can't keep your quarterback upright, you can't win football games. You know, Trevor showed some heart tonight. Scrambled out for a couple of big plays, diving for first downs. I want a guy like that on my team. You block for Trevor, and Trevor will be plenty good enough for you to win with. But Trevor looks bad because our offensive line looks just as bad as it did last year. Now, we're better in some spots, but we're still a ways away. That's why I'm saying I think if we could unload a huge liability like DT and pick up some draft picks or something, or we can build some front lines on both sides of the ball. I mean, that's really the only way I see the Broncos getting back in the AFC West ever. I mean, really. We're about right where I thought we would be. We didn't, I didn't exactly work the way I thought it was going to work. We've lost to teams I thought we would beat and beat teams I thought we would lose to. But however you want to slice it, we're a 500 football team, and that's exactly what I said we would be. And I think that's exactly where we'll end up at the end of the year. Our defense will win some games for us. We got no turnovers against the Giants, no turnovers here against the Chargers. One game we're going to get a deal where we get 3-4 interceptions or turnovers, and then you ain't going to be able to beat the Broncos when we do that. Our defense played fine today. Basically, one guy and two guys in the Chargers killed us. Phillip Rivers, Kelvin Benjamin. Both of them good players. Chargers are a better team than the Denver Broncos are right now. Denver Broncos are the worst team in the AFC West right now. Don't have the worst record, but we're the worst team in the AFC West. If we had to play the Raiders tomorrow, I would not be confident in our chances to win. I think there's no way we're going into Arrowhead to beat them. We can't stop Dee Ford and Justin Houston. We can't. We can't stop them from touching Trevor. We can't stop Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin. We can't stop Ingram and Joey Bosa. There's not a team in our division where they're outside pass rushers. We can stop them. And if we can't do that, we cannot win any football games. Just disgusted, man, because look, I don't expect to win the dang Super Bowl or the AFC West every single year, but I do expect us to be competitive. That Super Bowl 50 is still pretty fresh around here. Still feels good that we've just recently won a Super Bowl. I know it's over. It don't mean nothing, but it still feels good. And most of you who are watching this video wouldn't know nothing about it because you ain't won a damn Super Bowl in forever. But even though we did just win this Super Bowl, I don't expect us to be the Patriots and go dominate the division every single year because we don't have a number 12. We don't have an Aaron Rodgers. Hell, we ain't even got an Alex Smith, and he's not even that good. Broncos are going to have a long year in front of them. Shout out to you Chargers fans. Played good today. You're really actually in a hostile environment in your own hometown, in your own home stadium. It was hostile in your own home stadium, and you still beat our ass. I don't know what else to say. Good job, Chargers. This is the OG Bronc, not 719. Wes. I'm out.